Hey everyone, this is Hamidul Islam. You are watching Let's Learn Science. Today in this session we will basically talk about the various physical methods that are used to separate the component of the mixture of class 6 standard science from the lesson separation of substances. In my first video I have discussed that why it is important to separate the substances or why it is important to separate the components of the mixtures. And the reason behind it is that some of the non-useful substances are mixed with useful substances, so we cannot use them in that way. So before using them, we have to separate the non-useful substances from the useful substances, and that's why only what happen, the separation of substances is necessary, or you can say the separation of components of the mixture is important. So let us today see the different methods in detail that are used to separate the component from the mixture. The first one, that is hand picking. Hand picking. From the name of the method itself, you can realize or you can guess that in this method, the component of the mixture have to be, or the components of the mixture is to be separated by using hand. That means the component of the mixture is separated manually with the help of hand on the basis of differences of their size, shape, then appearance or qualities. Often you have visited the fruit shop, vegetable shop. The fruit shopkeeper is used to do what? They used to arrange the different shape and size apple in different heap. Right, so that they can sell those different shapes and qualities of apples in different prices. As well as they also separate the rotten one from the good one. So how they used to separate the different sizes of apples from the mixture of that one, different sizes of apples, or how they used to separate the rotten one from the good one. So that is they have done by using their hand, and that particular process is called hand picking. Beside that also, we have seen often on, that is the process of hand picking in your house also. Before going to cook the food, cook the rice, right? What does the people generally used to do? They used to separate if something is there in the rice. So before washing it, they used to show that if there is some material, okay, which is not useful. So they used to look through that one in an open container, okay. Then they used to separate the non-useful substances from the rice before cooking it. So that process also called hand picking. So let's see the process of manual, as I told you, by using hand. So that is the process of manual removal based on what? Difference in their size, shape, appearance or qualities. And when manually the components of the mixture is to be separated on the basis of these physical properties, that is size, shape, appearance or qualities, then that process we call as hand picking. And where the hand picking is used, over there the component of the mixture should be somewhat larger in size. If it is very small in size, then what will happen? The hand picking process cannot be used over there. So the component of the mixture must be large in size for applying hand picking method of separation. Let's say magnetic separation. Magnetic separation, again this is a physical methods that is used to separate the components from the mixture. The process of separating the magnetic material, let me clear you these terms. Magnetic material means the material that are attracted by the magnet. Suppose if you bring a piece of plastic near a magnet, the magnet will attract the plastics. Definitely no. But instead of plastic, if you bring a piece of iron, then what will happen? Definitely the magnet will attract the iron. So iron is a what type of material? Magnetic material. So how can you define the magnetic material? Magnetic material are the material that can be attracted by the magnet, or the material that are attracted by the magnet are called magnetic material. So the process of separating the magnetic material from a mixture is called magnetic separation. Okay, and what you know? The process of separating magnetic material from a mixture is called what? Magnetic separation. And in this method, what is used? Magnet is used. In the magnetic separation method, what thing is used? Magnet is used to separate the magnetic material. And this method is used in the junkyard. Junkyard to separate what you know? The magnetic material from the junk gear, so that the waste material can be decomposed very easily, because metals, generally the magnetic materials are the metals, so metal doesn't used to decompose very easily. So it's very important to separate the magnetic material from the junk gear by the process of what? Magnetic separation. Besides that, also magnet is used, or this method is used to remove the iron splint from the eyes or different organs from the body of a person. Find different iron fillings or different metallic object is used to enter inside the body of the human being during the time of accidents. Then also what happens? Magnet is used to dig out those piece of iron or metallic material from the body of a person. Besides that, also it is used to remove the iron splint from the eyes or some different organs by the doctors. So like this, what happened? This method is used. Next, see tracing. Tracing. We are going to know about these methods of separation. You should know what is the meaning of harvesting. The cutting down of crops while it is to get matured in the agricultural field, and that process is called harvesting. So after harvesting, the farmer have to be separate the grains from the plants, that is from the stalks. The farmer have to be separate the grains from the stalks, that is from the agricultural plants. So how they used to separate that one? They used to hit or beat the agricultural plant with a hard surface, or sometimes what happened? They used to separate the grains by rubbing it, that is by friction. And that process of separating the grains from the stalks is called what? Threshing. And that process we call as what? Threshing. So how can we define it? The process of separating the grains from the stalks, and that is called what? Threshing. Often in the villages, threshing also done by donkeys or oxen in a circular form, and they are bound together and they are allowed to move in a circular form on a hard surface. So like this also what happened? Threshing has been done. So simply the threshing means the process of separating the grains from the agricultural plants by beating that on with a hard surface, or you can say by rubbing with a hard surface, or you can say by friction, and then that process is called as threshing. Now let's see some other methods of separation of components of mixture. Now let's see about unioning. Unioning is also a method of separation of components from a mixture. What happens in this method? The process of separating the mixture, the process of separating the heavier seeds, or what you can say grains, the process of separating the heavier seeds or grains from lighter component. Here the base of separation is the nature of the weight of the particles, whether it is heavier or lighter. So in this process what happened, the heavier sheets or grains from the lighter component like that of dry straw pieces and served by blowing air or wind, and that process we called as what? Winnowing. Right? And this process is applied just after threshing. How threshing is the method, as we come to know, the process of separating the grains from the agricultural plant, that is from the stalks. So while the grains is being separated from the stalks, that is from the agricultural plants, what happens, along with the grains there are so many light particles are mixed, like the leaves of the plants, like the dry straw pieces of the plants, that are mixed together with the grains, or you can say the seeds. So that have to be separated. So what happened, how the farmer can separate those light components? So they used to stand on a off region, and they used to take the grains in a container, and they used to allow the wind to pass through those grains, and what happened, the lighter components of the mixture, that is from the grains, is used to taken away by the wind, and the heavier seeds or grains fall down on the ground. And the process, that particular process by which the farmer is used to separate the lighter components from the grains after threshing is called what? Winnowing. Is it clear? Next you see sieving. Again, this is also one of the important methods. Here in this method, what the based on the particles, okay, of different sizes. If their sizes are different, their size are particular, the particles of the mixtures have the different sizes, or the component of the mixture have different sizes, then only over there what we can use this method, that is sieving. The method of separating the particles of different size using a sieve, and using sieve is a container that have net-like structure, and that have some small pores of equal size on it. So through these pores, it allows only those particles to pass through it which have the equal size like that of the size of the hole in the sieve. So those particles only pass through the sieve, and other particles retain on the sieve. So the process of separating the particles of different size using a sieve is called sieving. It will become clear if I give you two examples. You have seen before making the chapatis, your mom or somebody else who used to cook the food in your house. Before going to make the chapatis, first step, what they used to do, they used to take the flour in a sieve, and after that they used to separate the non-useful substances that might be mixed with the flour. So that process is called what? Sieving. By the process of sieving only, flour has been separated from the non-useful substances. Again, we have seen that one most probably in the construction site. In the construction site, what happened? From the sand, the people who used to work over the construction site, from the sand they used to separate the pebbles, big size pebbles. Then red sand they used to separate from the sand by using a sieve, that is net-like structure. They used to allow the sand to pass through that sieve. What happened? Then the sand, the fine particle of the sand that used to passes through the sieve, and that big size of pebbles, then red sand, they used to retain on the sieve. So like this one, what happened? Sieving is used extensively in the field of construction. Where the construction work is going on over there, this particular process is used to separate the pebbles as well as red sand from the sand. Now let's see some other methods of separation. Our next process is sedimentation. Why in case of a mixture of solid and liquid, in case of the mixture of solid and liquid, over there what happen? Hand picking, winnowing, threshing, sieving, this process doesn't work. This method doesn't able to separate the components of the mixture. So in that case, in the mixture, like what solid in liquid, then what happen? To separate the component of the mixture, over there we use these methods, that is sedimentation, decantation and filtration. These methods are used to separate the components of a mixture in which the type of the mixture is solid in liquid. Now let's see the first one, that is sedimentation. The process by which insoluble heavy particles. It is a process. Already you know which one? Yes or no? No need to say again and again. So the process by which insoluble heavy particles. The particles is very somewhat heavy and that is insoluble. Keep remember this thing. Want to be noted. Insoluble, that is do not dissolve in water or liquid, that is insoluble. Heavy particles in liquid are allowed to settle down. They are allowed to settle down, and that particular process we call as what? Sedimentation. The process by which insoluble heavy particles in a liquid are allowed to settle down is called sedimentation. Now, if I ask you to, you can do this practical at your home. This is a very easy one. Take one glass of, not one glass, more than half glass of water. Take a glass and take water more than half of it, and try to mix 1 spoon of sand in it and stir it in a proper way. And after that, you keep the glass without any disturb for 10 to 15 minutes. And after that, when you will be able to see, if you observe the glass, then what will happen? You will see all the sand particles will settle down at the bottom of the glass. All the sand particles will settle down at the bottom of the glass. So that process, that whole process is called what? Sedimentation. What do you call that one? Sedimentation. Now let's see decantation. The process of obtaining the clear liquid after sedimentation. So decantation is a method of separation that is applied just after what? Sedimentation. In the sedimentation, what we have got? That the insoluble particles, that is in the liquid, settle down at the bottom of the container. So when the insoluble particle will settle at the bottom of the container, then what happens? We can slowly hold that glass or hold the container, and we can pour that clean water into another container. So the process of pouring or obtaining the clean water after sedimentation into another container, that is called what? Decantation. That particular process is called decantation. The process of obtaining the clean liquid after sedimentation into another container is called decantation. Is it clear? I hope you get the points. Next to see filtration. So all this method, as I told you, is used while separating the component of the mixture when the nature of the mixture is solid and liquid. Filtration, again in this process what happens? The process of separating solid suspended particular component of the mixture in liquid by putting a device called filter. What is used in this process? A device that is called filter, and by using the filter, when solid suspended particle gets separated, then we call this method as filtration. What we call that? Filtration. And in the perforation of the filter, what happens? That allow the liquid only to pass through it, and solid suspended particle is used to retain on the filter. And the substances that retain on the filter is called residue. What it is called? Residue. And the liquid that is obtained after filtration is called filtrate. What it is called? filtrate. So like this what happened, sedimentation, decantation and filtration, these methods are used while separating the components from a mixture, and the nature of the mixture is solid in liquid. So some other physical methods are also there, that one I will discuss in my later session. So if the video is somewhat very helpful to you, then please don't forget to hit the like button and please subscribe the channel and share it. Thank you.